Good morning, stamping friends. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. My name is Lorri Heiling, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I always look forward to sharing with you on Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock a.m. Arizona time. Now, I want to point out that a lot of our designer series paper is on sale this month through August 31st, and this is one that we're going to use today. Most of our designer series paper in the annual catalog are on sale, and this is 15% off. So it comes to $10.62 is all it costs for one whole pack of this. So this wildly flowering is so pretty. I love the beautiful florals used here, but I also love that the coordinating sides have a very subtle print, so it's easy to put these together and makes them mix and match. All right, so that's kind of our starting point here, and what we're going to do is grab our card base, and I already scored it here. This is an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock, and then I just folded it in half. I already did this. And always use your bone folder to kind of make that crease nice and crisp. And that's going to be the card base. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take a piece of our designer series paper, and I couldn't remember what I cut this to. 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So that's kind of our palette of colors. And I also chose Early Espresso. I just picked up that dark color there as an accent. And this one is 5 by 3 3/4. And by the way, this is a card that we made at my in-person stamp club this month. I don't typically do a video of these, but I'm gonna make a bunch of these because they really go fast and easy, and I have a lot of this paper. Okay, so here we have the basics of what we're gonna make. Now I'm gonna set this one aside as well. Now, if you can believe it, I am gonna use the die from Gone Fishing. This has become very valuable to me because I actually use this die more for other things rather than the fishing set. It really works well as a tackle box with that fishing set. But I found that sometimes if you're stuck with smaller stamped images and you're not really sure how to put them on a full card front, you know, how do you fill up that page with these small things? This way it kind of divides it up and it gives them their own little palette in here. So that's how I've been using this a lot lately. All right, so what I'm going to do is, there's not really a wrong side and a right side, but I'm going to kind of guess. I want the flowers maybe going up that way. So I'm going to pretend like this is the top. And then I'm going to place this on here. And it doesn't really matter if it's centered exactly because I'll show you why in a minute. We're just after one part, actually 2 parts of this. So I'm going to quick go and die cut this, and then I'll be right back and we will make the rest of the card. Okay, I wanted to leave this on my plate so you can see what it looks like, because as soon as I pick it up, oh, I guess it's not. I thought it would kind of fall out, all the pieces. All right, so we can throw this very outside piece away. Can move this. Now, what I'm going to do is when I take them off, I'm going to be very careful and leave them in the right order. Okay. It's going to be kind of like we're going to put a puzzle together. I'll show you what I mean. All right, now we're not done here. We still need one little piece in here. So we're going to take out, see that border around there? A lot of people in my class, they just left this in, not thinking that they needed it, but you actually do need this, and I'll show you why. Okay, so that's typically, whoops, there's one more piece in there because I did cut a blue piece out. And this bottom one is, see if I can get it out. I gotta find a hole that pokes it out. This one is actually Misty Moonlight, and I'll show you why I did that. Okay, so here we have the frame. Doesn't that make a nice tackle box if we were using it for that? All right, so we're going to just flip it over, and this is actually going to become our pattern. And what I mean by that is we're going to take the Early Espresso, and we are going to try to center this as best as we can. It should line up pretty well with the outside of the, like the outside of the Early Espresso should match with the outside of this frame here. All right, the next thing we're going to do is, I think this will work on my little desk background. I am trying to get it really exact. Okay, take some of your old washi tape that you don't use anymore. I still occasionally use washi tape, but everything has a season. And I'm just going to tape this so this pattern does not move. Okay. I hope I centered that. We'll soon find out. All right, now we're going to take these puzzle pieces and we are just going to place them right in where this goes. Now you'll know if it's upside down because see how these don't match? And I'm a little bit on the OCD side, so I have to make it like it's really a puzzle. But instead of putting it in, we are going to take our small dimensionals. I trim my pack down just because sometimes it's easier to work with when it's small. And you're gonna put these on all the corners of all these little rectangles, okay? So I am gonna speed up the camera so you don't have to watch me do something so simple as this. All right, do you see how that gives everything a pop from its background? All right, now the reason we didn't do this one is because this one is not gonna be this piece of paper. Actually, I probably could turn it over like that. You know what, I think I will. I actually did cut out a different one, but let's just use what's in there. Okay, I solved that problem. But we need to stamp on this first, and so I'm not sure if the brown is going to show up that well on the blue. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use Versamark and white embossing powder. We got new embossing powder. This works even better than our last one. I guess they got a new vendor, but it really works nice. The stamp set we're going to use is called So Sincere, and it's a really nice set because it kind of covers all bases here. There's thank you, you're on my heart and prayers, which is the one we're going to use. Feel better. It's just got a nice variety of different sentimental type stamps. And so what we're going to do is ink this up in the Versamark, and I'm going to try to center this. Actually, I'm going to pull this out because I need to lift it up so that I can, you know, heat emboss it. All right, so let's move over here a little bit. All right, and then we're going to take our embossing powder. And I am going to need just a little paper for this to fall on. And we'll just use white so it shows up really nice and bright. Paper. All right, and if you get any little, see that tiny little bit over there, you can just use a brush and brush that off. Like that. That's just my watercolor brush. All right, so let me go emboss this quick and then I'll be right back. All right, now we just need to add these little dimensionals on the back of this one. I love that the color that I wanted was on the back side. That really worked out well. Like that. And let's put our last little puzzle piece in here. And I think I can move this one. It's taped on well enough on the other sides. It's kind of in the way a little bit. All right, so we'll stick it right in there. All right, now we have the reveal. So take all your little washi tapes off. Like that. And then this little pattern you don't need anymore unless you want to use it for something else. But see how it makes that nice border like that? Nice. Oh, perfect. Now we're going to flip that over and let me grab my dimensionals here. And let's pop this layer up as well. This one also would work well for scenery ones. There's some Christmas ones coming out that I'm going to try with this technique, and I think that that one will work as well because it kind of just continues the scene. You know, sometimes those scenery ones, they're so large and you don't really know, you know, if you put a banner on, it'll interrupt the scene and stuff. Sometimes those are harder to work with, but I think this might be a cool little technique to try on scenery cards. All right, I think I got all those off. All right, let's center this. Looks like I don't have them all off. All right, and then see how that coordinates? And then the last little thing, we're gonna add a little bow, and I use the basic white. This is an online exclusive, and it has kind of a cute little frayed edge. It gives it a little bit of a shabby chic look. And let's grab a glue dot and we'll just adhere that. Right in this corner here, like that. And then I always feel like I need to add a few little dots just for a little interest and bling. So I chose, there's not one that has these exact colors like the blue and the mauve and stuff. So I chose to get the gold because it's clear underneath as well. And let's see how those look. I think those will work. All right, so let's put the larger one over here. And then we'll use two of the smaller ones on the other side. Let's go maybe right about here and right here. There we go, just a little bit of bling there. All right, there you have it. Well, wasn't that simple? And it just really is fun how it looks like a puzzle piece put together. Well, I hope you enjoyed this simple little project today. And also, if you're interested in ordering, if you use the host code and if your order is over $50, you will receive a surprise in the mail from me. It's some Stampin' Up! Product along with a thank you card. And that's my way of saying thank you so much for your business. I so appreciate that. We are going to be ordering from our new holiday catalog on September 4th. So I think I have one more video to do before then. Maybe I'll choose, next Tuesday is the 3rd. So maybe I'll choose a holiday set and kind of entice you with a project next week. And so I hope you have a good rest of your week. And thank you again for joining me today. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.